Good morning, good morning. I just want to sit up here and I want to talk with you guys today. I hope y'all having an amazing day first off, but I just want to talk with you guys today about being able to hear God's voice. I don't know where y'all guys are currently at, but you might be in a moment where you feel like you might be alone. You might feel like you need God to tell you something. Like you're sitting there and you just like need to hear something from God to talk into your situation. And I want to talk a little bit about what does that actually sound like. I think that's something that we always think about, we always wonder about. So we're going to sit up here and we're going to talk a little bit about it. If y'all guys got any experiences with hearing God's voice, let me know down in the comments below. Again, I'm in my girlfriend's apartment, so it's, that vanity mirror, yeah. But anyways, let's get up into it. So I was reading this verse yesterday. I forgot exactly what the name of the verse was, but it was basically the story of this man who was trying to, he had just had a big victory. You know what? Let me just look up the name of this dude real quick. Elijah. His name was Elijah, and he had this big victory. And after this victory, he started to feel a little bit alone. He started to feel lonely. And he got to the point where he asked God to take his own life. He literally told God, like, just take my own life. I don't deserve to live anymore because whatever. But God ends up showing himself to him. Not showing himself to him, but talking to him. But the way that he talks to him is not in the way that he would have expected, and a lot of us would have expected. So he sees this earthquake happening. He sees this huge earthquake happening, but he doesn't see God in there. He sees this big fire going on. He doesn't see God in there. He's expecting to see God in these big dramatic things that are happening, but he doesn't show up in this. He doesn't talk to him in these big dramatic ways. Instead, in this verse, it says that God spoke to him through a still small voice. A still small voice. You know, there's many interpretations on what that could mean exactly, but I think for a lot of us, we feel like sometimes we hear this still small voice. Sometimes we question, is that you, God, or is that just a coincidence? Sometimes we question, like, is that actually from God? Is this actually, am I making stuff up in my head? But maybe these things that we're hearing on a day-to-day basis, like these little small signs that God puts in our life and in our path, are the still small voices that he's using to endure us. Because he speaks to this guy, Elijah, in this still small voice, and what he's basically trying to do to him is allow him to be nourished. He's telling him to keep going. This guy Elijah is sitting here saying that he wants him to take his life, but God encourages him. God continues to pick him up and lift him up through these moments that he has going on. So I don't know about you guys, but you ever had that moment where you are going through something, you're talking to God, you're trying to ask God, like, please just show yourself to me. And then all of a sudden, like, you'll be watching a movie or something and you'll see something that ties into that thing that you got going on. And sometimes we're like, I don't know for sure if, like, that's, you trying to tell me something here? But what if we just, like, accepted that? What if we accepted that is maybe how God is speaking to us? Not in the big dramatic things. He's not going to, like, make some huge, dramatic thing in our life happen all the time. Sometimes maybe that is how he wants to talk to us. But sometimes it's just going to be those little things here and there. Maybe we see it in a movie. Maybe there's somebody that talks to us and we hear it in a conversation. Maybe there's something going on in your life that helps you kind of see it a little bit more clearly. Like I have little moments where I'll like go to a freaking library with my girlfriend, and all of a sudden it confirms something that I've been thinking about, like of me wanting to go and move with her in the future. Like that's something small for me, but paying attention to that voice. Maybe the more that we trust in the Lord, maybe the more that we continue to increase our belief, the more that we trust these little signs. So if you guys are in this moment right now where you're feeling a little bit like, Lord, I need you to talk to me, I need you to say something to me, maybe you could just start trusting a little bit, start looking out for these things and knowing that that very much could be from God. It could be him trying to endure you, trying to sustain you through this time, this tough time that you're dealing with right now. I love you guys. If you're dealing with something like this right now, let me know down in the comments below. Peace.